Yeah, I welcome all the participants to the day 3 of our ATAL FDP on cloud and fog computing platforms for IoT application. Today we have Professor Soumya Ghosh sir from IIT Kharagpur. Before sir will start his session, I'll introduce sir. Sir is currently the professor in the Department of Computer Science Engineering, IIT Kharagpur. He received his PhD degree from IIT Kharagpur in the year of 2002, MTech degree from IIT Kharagpur in the year of 96, and BTech BE degree in Electronics and Communication from NIT Durgapur. Earlier it is REC Durgapur. He has also received the University Gold Medal for the best graduate during his BTech study. He also published many reputed journals in various IEEE transactions and various reputed conferences like ICDCN. Sir has guided so many PhD scholars as well as MTech research scholars. The primary research interest of Professor Ghosh is geographic information system, spatial web services, data analytics, and cloud computing. And also in Sir has collaboration with Professor Sajal Kedia sir and Professor Rajkumar Bhuiya sir. Sir has also set up the cloud infrastructure in IIT Kharagpur. You can visit IIT Kharagpur cloud computing group, which is called as Megamart. So you can see and what kind of activities are going under this section. So with this introduction, I request sir to please start the session. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjay, for this great introduction.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry I am delayed, stuck up in something. There is the problem with these online things. You don't have control over the time always.
Yes,
So so without wasting, let me start directly. So as I should be talking about something related to the spatial domain. If you, some of you are maybe knowing, and some of you maybe not maybe new to this domain, but there is an interesting field which is coming up, and we try to see that how this cloud and vis-a-vis maybe the fog, how they play a role in this domain. Right? So let me share the presentation. Give me a minute. Is it visible? Maybe.
yes, sir, visible, sir.
Okay.
Visible.
Okay, I will make it full screen.
Yes, sir.
One minute, give me. I keep not going to the full. Ah, it is now. I think it is now, right?
Yes, sir, sir.
Okay. So, so what we'll be talking about is special uh, uh, data infrastructure. We'll come to that. What do you mean? and the geospatial cloud. So context in the context of cloud in terms of in the context of spatial data. Now, what is when we talk about spatial or more specifically geospatial data? So what we mean that the data which can be about the Earth surface, right? So we are more used to or the data like we are the mapping things, right? Finding route trajectories or what is say navigation type of data. Those are a type of spatial data. It can be several type of spatial data. Now, this data has a characteristic of this huge volume and at times have a huge computational requirement, right? So these two becomes pretty critical when you want to process it for any type of something real time or near real time or even offline type of processing, right? And as the data is pretty high volume and things like that. So what will we and secondly what is happening when we talk about this sort of a data? There is a suppose you want to analyze something like I want to look at that something related to NIT Warangal campus, and we have say I want to find out that what is the during peak time or during what is the traffic movement within the campus. So what we require say maybe the road network underlining within the campus. We require maybe the location of the halls and departments if there are movement of the students and faculties and even residential things which are within campus or from the main gate and type of things. And then also you may require the different type of locations of this like departments and other facilities and things like that, right? So what is happening? So if those data sets are available with different stakeholders, in this case all are with NIT Warangal, but even that you will find that there may be several departments holding it. And then when you want to process this data to find out that what is the optimum way so that the path can be defined, like the should say student from hostel area should go through this path for the lecture halls of such department, etc. If you want to do a planning, maybe at a campus scale, then you require multi-source data to be there on your system and then work on that, right? And now think of if you now expand it to a Warangal city or at the district level or at a state level, so it becomes a hell of a job of taking this whole data in order to do any meaningful processing, right? So, so there where the spatial data infrastructure come into play, we'll come to that, right? Why it is not coming? Ah, So what we see, these data sets are typically very much data intensive. Not only that, it is compute intensive, and there are variable load on so-called when we talk about geographic information system, that means in a information system which understand coordinates and geography of the things, right? It can deal with the spatial data. So like any information system with the extension of that geometry and geography type, right? So there may be variable load on the servers, and this geospatial server or GIS server require high level of reliability and performance to do any work. And at times, if I want to access the data over the network, which is the present day, you require the things in the mobile and things like that, like you are using maybe using Google Map or Map by India or Ping Map or something, and then you require those things on your mobile, and then you require at times that some the services which are pretty data intensive, right? So as we are discussing, given a region, just to go to the spatial geospatial layer, given a region, what we have, there are different layers, right? Hydrology, maybe elevation, soil, infrastructure, land use, road network, and say build-up area like where the buildings, etc., there, and so on and so forth. So when we want to do any type of analysis with this sort of a data, like finding the shortest path between say something, say Warangal to Kharagpur, then what we have to do, we need to find out not only the road network, we need to look at the congestion level, we need to look at whether there are any road restriction like one way, etc., etc. and then need to predict that this is your travel path. Not only that, this is the estimated time requirement and so on and so forth, which may be at time dynamic because the traffic may change over time, or you may have a priori knowledge that what sort of traffic will be there during, say, on Wednesday or at 7 in the evening. So what's or 8 in the evening. So based on that you predict models. Nevertheless, what we require a large amount of data need to be churned, which are coming from multiple sources. So what we see, though we have the say, even if we look at this Warangal or any place, any campus or any city or any district, though we are having this sort of things, but they are looked into as different layers, right? Like there can be vegetation cover, there can be build-up area, there can be things. And when we want to do analysis, we may require one or multiple layer. Like we want to say, as we are talking about, like to know that how student movement from the hostel to departments to marketplaces, etc. That we may require maybe these two layers only, right? Road network and along with that build-up area where buildings, etc. are there. You may need to do that some other type of processing, you may require multiple layers. So in other sense, with our given our mother earth, we may make number of layers to processing the things. The challenge is these data are pretty large and data are often collected and maintained by different organizations, right? If you look at a state level or even district level, right? It is not one person having the thing. So one is bringing the data in a one place and processing is something at times becomes impossible. So what we require that first of all, they once I suppose I am maintaining the road data and say somebody in NIT Warangal maintaining this say build-up data. So we usually store the formats and structure what is best suited for my own organization. So there is a problem of interoperability and there is a problem of data transfer when we do want to analyze the things, right? So, and what we see that this sort of work has now, though it was initially on a project mode, like some people bringing the data working, and which is now in a more of a societal mode, right? Like these say navigation services are available on your mobile, on your car, sitting on the laptop, desktop, anywhere, everywhere, right? So it is omnipresent and being used in a large scale, right? So that's what brings about a concept of infrastructure. Right? So whether I can build a infrastructure, it may be over cloud, having cloud, fog, edge, IoT type of things where allow me to collect, process data. So, but the infrastructure, when we talk about infrastructure, so what the meaning that what when you say that it will be kept in such a way, then it can be seamlessly accessed, right? Like one of the infrastructure what we see that in soft term, what we are used to is that say telecom infrastructure, right? Like you want a connectivity, you take a in your phone, you take a SIM, right? Of any say any vendor or any company of your service provider of your choice, and then the rest of the things is taken care by the infrastructure. So you need to pay for it for the recharging the thing. Rest the connectivity etc. Is taken care by the infrastructure. So you take a BSNL, Airtel, Jio, Vodafone, whatever the SIM, but you should get those services which is seamless, right? Ideally, there are what we say drops and etc. If we say keep aside those things, but you get a so you don't care that whether the backbone is how the data is being cared, things whether everything is wireless or it is working on 2G, 3G, 4G or even 5G. What you require, the services or applications starting from phone, SMS, other apps should run seamlessly. So what you are hooking on is a telecom infrastructure and a way to connect to the things and other things are there. But here, this is little bit more tricky because the data should be seamlessly there. So if I want to work on a finding the mobility or finding the say connectivity or the mobility dynamics of the movement of the traffic in the NIT Warangal say campus, then I want to pull the data or I may want to process the data. where the data is distributed across the different stakeholders, like your transport department may be having the road related network data, your maybe the from your say class routines and the hostel the how the hostel being allotted to the student. We know that which category may be going here. We can decipher the data from here, and also some of the building data, etc., where classes, etc., there that I can have in a other means I can decipher. So in other sense, I can if but if I want to process, I am not I don't want to take all those data. What I say, give me a place where I can hook, I am ready to pay for it, and I can process the data, right? So that's exactly which leads us to a service-oriented architecture, right? So from the data-driven architecture to a service-driven architecture. So what we are looking for is more for services rather than the data. So if we look at it, it may be for spatial, for other things are also true. So we have different type of database layers, and we have different type of stakeholders who are maybe consuming data, or maybe what we say processing data for some other things. And in between we have that internet layer, or HTTP over HTTP the communication, and then we have different type of services, like in this case geospatial services. But this can be other type of services too, right? Like you do say purchase of we are you having e-marketplaces, right? Like you are what we say uh, when we talk about uh, say uh, something like Amazon, eBay, or Snapdeal and Flipkart and so on and so forth. What we do, we basically have this sort of intermediate broker, right? Or who handles the back-end different service provider or the product providers and other things, the consumer, right? So here also what we have is some of the things which are more service layers which connect to different type of databases which can be in a distributed way, right? So that is a what we say interoperable geospatial information system or geospatial infrastructure. So there are a lot of benefits out of it, right? First of all, the data remain in place. That is most important, right? Suppose you get the transport data to your laptop, and then next time there is a upgradation of the any of the road network, then you have to upgrade that. Right? It is better to keep the data with the transport department itself. Whenever we require services, we pull the data from the service mode, right? So data remain in place, data and also the ownership remain in place. So no constant on maintenance or policy. So whatever way they were maintaining the data, whether it is transport, whether it is traffic, whether it is soil, whether it is build up, whatever they are maintaining there. So in-house, whatever tools, etc., they are using still valid. Only we need to define the interfaces, right, by which we can interoperate. So this defines the models which can be user-defined models can be applied, right? I want to do a traffic management, and then I do some sort of a modeling and get the things done. So, and we have syntactic, semantic, interoperate, and OGC type of compliances. So this same stuff. So what, as we are telling that we started from spatial data infrastructure is more of a service driven, right? So we can have different other views of the things where we have different GIS layers and these application layers and different type of resources. So there is a concept of national spatial data infrastructure where the data multiple sources which are in a distributed fashion and widely available, integrated, enhanced knowledge and understanding of the physical culture aspects, etc., can be used by this. Now, if you look at this, becomes an ideal what we see case for launching it over the cloud, which give you a service driven or anything as a service type of mode and also allows you to in a work in a distributed fashion, work you it is ubiquitous and can be accessible. Means can be means what we say accessible with a pay as you go model, right? You pay for the services you consume. We'll come to that. So we'll have so these are the components. We are not going to the nitty-gritty of the things. And also just to show you that one how things works, like so that you get a little bit feel of the thing. This is a a district, Bankura, which is adjoining district of where we stay at IIT Kharagpur, West Midnapur. And there are several blocks of data. There are around 22 blocks in a district, like in your district also there are several blocks. And every block has a headquarter and also have different type of, say, road networks, right? And so what we want to see that these are the data which are maintained by their different department here, right? Which is under the state government, but that is under district authority. What we can do is integrate on a service mode, right? So this, if you think of that, those data, if it is over the cloud, whatever cloud they maintain, I can have a orchestration between these different cloud and can integrate this data on a seamless fashion. And this whatever we are showing is something, a case what we did. It is not synthetic thing. It is the actual data what we did, maybe a few years old data, right? And not only that, once we can do, I can integrate with the Government of India portal, right? Say this is our data set which is maintained at a in a service mode in our IIT Kharagpur, whereas this is a government of that NSDI is a DST portal where I can integrate them over a service mode. So the data sits there itself, right? There may be little bit of problem of what we say alignment, because the way they surveyed and way that Bankura district surveyed, we didn't survey anything. We are using the data that may be different. But nevertheless, you see the same thing I can still display over the things, right? Or anybody can display over the things. What it tries to do, like if the district can itself maintain their data, can keep on a server, or more specifically over a chunk means in the cloud, then I can integrate this different type of data as on need basis. Like I want to look at the Bankura, I look at the Bankura, right? Or it may, you think of that some of the development planning operations which can work on those type of things, right? And then we can have block this different block headquarters, whatever we have showing there. Now we can have over this national portal, which is maintained by some other authority. What we do, we integrate this IIT KGP services of the things, right? And we can Zoom, etc., and whatever we can do. And then we did a lot of other type of activities. I am not going to those things, right? So we come back to this service, this your special data infrastructure, and what we try to look at, is that we can model this, that which are the data we can do, and again it is in a distributed fashion, data being maintained at different places, where at maybe looked upon as a different spatial cloud, and we can work on it, right? And we can do a lot of analytics. See, end of the day, when we talk about that, having the data and etc., whether it is spatial, non-spatial, we want to do some analytics out of it, right? We want to do some analysis out of it. It can be for some of the decision support system. It can be some of education or outreach, or maybe research oriented things, right? So we can have different way of looking of data analysis, but whereas the data of different stakeholder can be floated over different cloud infrastructure. So this I am not going again to these details. So we'll come to with this thing. What another important thing which come into play is the processing service, right? Which is what you have seen, that business process execution or executor, like the data remain days. Finally, you have a business process to be executed, right? I want to know this mobility analytics between these two locations and so forth, right? Like as we are talking about in IT Warangal campus related things, right? So what you require is run your process, or business process means run your logic over the data set, which is distributed over different infrastructure, right? Different cloud infrastructure and things like that. So what we can see that is has a potential application of the geospatial cloud, and in reality it is now in today's date, several organizations, like if you look at this Google Earth and Google different spatial operations, they are over the Google cloud, right? So where it is, those have been seamlessly integrated. Now Google being a one organization, they have their own structure and type of things. But if you look at our say, if you look at a national thing, so whether it is India or any other country, so there are different stakeholders of that data, right? Like soil is with somebody, transport is with somebody, say climate or met data with somebody. And if you want to do something together, want to take a decision like a particular cyclone movement, you want to say that what is how many people will be affected and what should be the exigency measure, whether the disaster management team, how they will act, and where you require a different sort of real-time operations with different special data, which are with different organizations. And if you want to take those data, etc., then it will take a month together before that the whatever catastrophe has gone. However, if we can float them over cloud, maybe individual cloud, I can execute some of the execution. So we'll try. I am not going to the cloud definition that that already you are knowing, and I think there are a lot of things. So that special characteristic like on-demand self-service, ubiquitous network access, resource dynamic resource pooling, location independence, rapid elasticity, measured services, virtualization, and these well fit into the special domain, which is heavily data loaded, compute intensive, distributed, different type of policies with the different type of data sets with the organization, and it is well suited, right? So again, I am not going to these details. So need for geospatial cloud is not I think we already discussed. So wants to share data, like once you store data, you need to share. You may want to monetize, like you may want to get either credit out of it in terms of money or other things. Easy access to diverse special services is one of the need. Less infrastructure and special web services expertise is needed, right? Because as you see, this is a specialized field, and if you want to process at your own place, you need to have those type of expertise into the things. But finally, you are more regarding that type of applications which you are needed. So, and GIS decision making made easier, right? If you have those type of things, geospatial related decision making may be made easier. So we see that easy to use, scalability, cost, reliability, overall risk, etc. Those are minimizing the risk, etc. will be the maybe the advantage of the thing. So if we look at the whole thing now in a cloud, services into the cloud form, so what we have different type of services, like there are web processing services, web map services for displaying, there are web feature services, WFS, catalog services, or yeah, on the special domain, and those we can easily map as a something as a software as a service, data storage as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. There are some of the things where we need to rescale or remodulate, but definitely we can have that. So if we look at now this whole thing into the cloud type of thing, cloud type of infrastructure, so we have the whole in any realization of a cloud based application or services, what we see that registry play a big role, right? Rather, if you see our big this e-portal site or your e-travel site, e-travel, e-commerce site. So what they are, basically they are maintaining the registry, right? Like whether it is Make My Trip or this say Amazon or Flipkart, what they are maintaining a registry that who are the seller, who are the potential buyer, and they are doing a lot of analytics to give you offer and etc. And they are linking. Neither they have any product, nor they have a expertise of maintaining the product, but they are able to link it. So what they maintain is the registry, right? Or catalog of the things, right? So any realization of any type of this type of service driven applications are definitely you require a cloud infrastructure to launch it. Otherwise, you require a type of registry. So what we see that if we have a different requester, so if we have this web registry of the cloud, and then we can have a different instance created, and then we can basically have realize those services what we are talking about. Like same thing we tried to have over for your these Bankura districts as we was mentioning and could able to realize. Something as Dr. Sanjay was mentioning about the how we have a in-house Megamala cloud. We also tried to look into the same thing into launch over the Megamala cloud, and you could see that we can able to integrate the spatial data over the things, right? Like merging road over a local road and highways, and to find connectivities between two locations, like very standard operation like shortest path, but two data sets at different places, and we able to on different VMs and able to work on it and finding a shortest path between those locations. So starting from that, now if the shortest path is working, any other applications which will belong the data sets are working, right? Even we did some of the work like river with the canals and try to see that overall merge what will be the road network, what will be the water network, or that what popularly known as drainage network of a particular region. And if there is a condition like flood or during rainy season, or if there are heavy downpour, then creating a buffer, and which are the villages likely to be affected, or which are the blocks which are likely to be more affected. Or even we did a study of looking at that which are the roads which are likely to be inundated if this is the water level and things like that, right? So we see that there are huge number of applications, and there is a like all those things like infrastructure, platform, software as a service has application in this type of spatial data, rapid elasticity, on-demand location, independent resource availability, network accessibility, and pay-as-you-go model, right? And as the advantages, other things that we do not have a capital expenditure of setting up a geospatial server and having manpower and all those things, still we can work on the things. And these are some of the different typical scenario of the cloud. If I have a geospatial cloud, different organization, that how they hook into the whole thing and things like that, right? And maybe a little more detailed architecture where we have a once a request come, there is a negotiator to find that which are the data, because as you were mentioning this here, the data is pretty large, right? Searching over the data is itself is a big challenge. It's a huge like petabytes of data, or if you try to look at the things, right? So you need to have a appropriate cataloging services which your so-called broker or negotiator will look into the things and find out that exactly whether those type of query, because user demand mean it is coming with a query, right? So whether the query can be resolved, if resolved, where the processing will be there, which spatial cloud will take up. So those are the serious challenges, right? And also we have different resource services, data services, interface services, rather there are security services and things like that. So there are, I am not going again to detail of the thing. So as we see that at bare metal to hypervisor, VM instances, software stack, we can go at different layer of services also with this geospatial cloud. And even services like how to interpret at the service level, data level, security levels, those are. So if you look at the conclusion, so the spatial data infrastructure is playing a important role, and it's in a big way in our country also. We have a national spatial data infrastructure, which is now being hosted over a national geospatial cloud, which is maintained by Government of India, primarily with Department of Science and Technology and Survey of India, and where the data being hosted of different, or rather I should say there is a concept called NDR, National Data Registry, which maintain that which data is where. So if you request come, it push those query. This means what we say, divide the query appropriately, goes those data, accumulate and things. So it is still on the building stage, but at some point of time, we will have those services on the fly. Like if you even look sites like even NSDI or Bhuban site of your ISRO. So those you can have your data on the fly. Though the data is in a very distributed fashion, having over different type of some are with that organizational cloud, some are with some hybrid cloud and type of things. Okay, let me conclude here. All right. So if you have any query, we can take up those queries. Right. Let me
Any participant having any question, you can unmute and ask.
here. Okay, if you do not have any query, that's fine. If you have any interest in this area, you can drop me email later on. So thank you for your time and participation, and sorry for my delay. And thanks to Dr. Sanjay and Professor Rao for their invitation.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for giving
Thank
your
you, sir.
time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
So I am disconnecting.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
So thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll start our next session. We have already, our Girija sir is already joined in our meeting. So before sir will start, let me introduce Girija Prasad Nanda sir. So he is currently working as senior principal consultant learning in Infosys Bhubaneswar. He is having more than 19 years of IT industry experience and currently heading Bhubaneswar DC, both STP and SEZ. He is also member of various BOS members of various reputed institutes over the country, and he has also specialization in Microsoft stack like Azure, machine learning, LCNC, MS CRM, MS ERP, along with .NET. So he has very vast experience in industry. So with this short introduction, I request Girija sir to start the session. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjay sir. Good evening, all. My voice is audible to everyone?
Yes, sir, audible, sir.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Sir, please confirm if my screen is visible.
Yeah, now it is visible, sir.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so today's topic is practical aspects of cloud computing. So what I'll do is throughout the 2 days of the session, which is already over, probably you might have already come across this particular term, cloud computing. So what I'll do is I'll give you some briefings about different services that are there in the Microsoft stack. Okay, so you will be coming to know. So you already have certain exposure to infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Okay, so I'll give you certain exposure to all these different services that Microsoft provides in its cloud stack. Okay, so for that, what we'll do is I'll be making use of the public cloud platform, that is Azure. I believe the terms that I'm using, all of you are already aware of. So we have different classifications of the cloud computing. One is in terms of different models, right? Like infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, or software as a service. Similarly, depending upon the usage, it is public, private, and hybrid. Okay, so Azure is nothing but a public cloud platform. Okay, so that is what I'm going to talk about. So let me go directly to the cloud platform. Let me go here. So portal.azure.com is the path through which we'll be able to explore all the different services that are there in Azure. Okay, so friends, I'm just comparing between your different services. Whatever, due to the short span of time, I'll be concentrating only on the software as a service because these two probably frequently you might have come across. Okay, so infrastructure as a service, you might have heard about load balancers, virtual network, virtual machines, right? So whether you are using Azure or GCP or maybe AWS, but the terms are something similar, isn't it? So everywhere you'll be coming to know about your different virtual machines and networks, your IP, I mean public IP addresses. So all of them will be coming under the infrastructure as a service. Okay, so next to that you have your computing as a service. So under that computing services like your VMs, right? So each of the VMs will be having certain capacity, right? So when I say capacity, it will be 8 GB RAM or 16 GB RAM, depending upon the chosen machines, right? So it will be having different sizes, right? VM sizes. So along with that, you have different other platform as a services, okay, which will come under the compute services or compute categories in the left hand side. Okay, so you can see here function app, availability set, cloud services. So all of those will be coming under the computing services. Similarly, you have storage as a service. So whatever you are finding under this category, everything is falling under platform as a service. Okay, so you have storage services. Okay, when I say storage services, it is called in terms of Azure, it is storage accounts. Again, each of the storage accounts will be having certain categories or multiple subdivisions. Okay, so under the storage accounts, we have, you might have come across this particular term, blob, binary large objects, right? Queue, tables, and files. Okay, so these 4 categories will be coming under your storage accounts. Okay, so though it is a single service, but inside it you will be having all these 4. Guys, try to understand when I showed you the networking or the compute services. So when you are creating a VM, right, where it will be stored? Yes, VM takes. You might have already asked the machines or the services or the Azure services to create a VM of, let's say, 200 GB capacity, okay, with 16 GB RAM. But where that 200 GB will be stored, right? So if you are using SQL Server, okay, or any of the relational databases for that matter, right, it will be very, very costly. Okay, so that is why to store all those things, we need a cheaper storage service, isn't it? So that is where your binary large object comes into picture, or the blob comes into picture. Okay, similarly for other different usages like your messaging, okay, you will be requiring queues. For your NoSQL type of data storage, you will be requiring tables. Okay, even there are certain other services as well, like your MongoDB, some other data storages, database services, like your Cosmos DB. Again, Cosmos DB is a umbrella term. Okay, so you will be having so many other different services inside that. Okay, so that is what is your storage service. Okay, you'll be having 4 different files anyway, you know, right? Inside that you'll be having different directories. Inside that you'll be having folders, and inside the folders you'll be having either subfolders or the files, right? So that is how it will be structured. So these 4 things will be coming under the storage accounts. Other than that, you have so many different databases also. Okay, I talked about the SQL server. This one is a SQL server. You know about the Cosmos DB. Okay, inside the Cosmos DB, you will be having document DB, which is again a JSON documents. Okay, you will be having MongoDB. You'll be having Graph API, right? Like your Cassandra. So all these will be coming under the Cosmos DB, right? So similarly, you will be having web as the service, okay, or the categories. Inside that you will be having for example, you have created certain applications, okay, web apps. Then where you will be deploying or how you will be deploying? If it is an API, then API management service will be helping you to deploy that, okay, or you will be having API connections. Otherwise, you will be, if it is an app, okay, so there are certain apps, whether you are creating in .NET, whether you are creating in Java, whether you are creating in some other different platforms, you will be able to deploy them through app services. Okay, so this is again a platform as a service. You can also create your mobile applications, okay, and you will be able to use your notification hubs. When I say notification hubs, guys, try to understand, when you will be having one broadcasting of messages, okay, when you will be having broadcasting of messages, how will be doing it? Through certain notification hubs. Okay, then you will be having containers like your Kubernetes, okay, or it can be different other container instances. Okay, container services will be responsible for doing that. Okay, then you have AI, machine learning, then Internet of Things or IoT. So these are the different other services that will be provided. Okay, and for your high-end machine learning, or you call it as GPU processing, right? So you are also having certain VMs responsible for having it. Okay, so here, I mean, either you go with machine learning, which will be helping you in doing simple things. I mean, what you already know without image processing, all those different models that you might have already studied, everything will be able to do through this AI plus machine learning service. Okay. Other than that, if you want to have image processing, video processing, audio processing, then you need to have some GPU capable VMs. Okay, so and for that again you need to go to your networking or the computing service where you'll be able to create your different NV. NV stands for series of your VMs will be able to help you for your GPU class machines, right? Okay, then there are DevOps also. Okay, so DevOps these days, development and operations team will be working together. That means when I'll be completing my development, immediately I want to deploy it so that my client will be able to know it. Okay, so for those stops, what I can do is I'll be creating different channels. Okay, so I'll be having my development, I'll be having my testing, I'll be having my deployment. So 3 different channels I'll be creating, and once I complete anything, okay, any modification into your actual set of code, then what it will do is it will be initiating the first channel. So it will be tested first, then it will be deployed. Okay, so that immediately after maybe a very minimal delay, you'll be able to deploy so that your client can directly test it, right? So far, whatever we have studied, okay, most of the things are platform as a service. Okay, and is it clear so far, everyone? I'm going a little bit faster because we have very limited time. Is it understood so far, everyone? Yes. Okay, perfect. So next to that, what we'll do, we will be directly jumping to, because I'm explicitly focusing on software as a service. Okay, so from Microsoft Stack, we have Office 365 and Dynamics 365 as the 2 services, okay, which comes under the software as a service. Okay, so I already, for the sake of time, I already kept it open. Okay, so office.com, okay, or you could have written portal.office.com. Okay, so I'm just writing it here. Portal.office.com is the Office 365 related portal. Okay, so that is what I kept it open. In the left hand side, right, in the left hand side, I can go to all apps. Okay, let me open it from here. Are you able to see? You have Outlook service, you have OneDrive, Word, Power, I mean all the Office related applications, okay, including your SharePoint, which will be helping you for your content management. Teams application, you might have seen it for your different sessions. During COVID times, multiple different sessions might have happened through Teams, right? So that is what is your Teams application. That also comes under the Office 365. Okay, then you might have heard this Yammer term, just like your Facebook, okay, or Twitter. Those are social sites, right? So similarly, Yammer is nothing but a product from Microsoft, which is nothing but your social sites. Okay, so various organizations use it. Okay, so for example, there is a X as an organization, right? So what they will do is they will be creating their own social site. Okay, and participants from that specific organization will be able to chat, upload images, videos, whatever they want. Okay, just like whatever you are doing in Facebook, same thing can happen in Yammer, but specific for an organization. Okay, then these are the different stops that we are planning to cover today. Okay, so next to that, I said Dynamics 365. Under Dynamics 365, again, you might have heard about these terms in my introduction part. Guys, Microsoft is having its ERP products, okay, or ERP stack, okay, or you can say Dynamics 365. Inside that, you will be having three terms: ERP, CRM, customer relationship management, enterprise resource planning, and Power Platform. So these are the three terms. Okay. So Dynamics 365 or CRM or ERP, we're not going to cover today. Okay, because that is also, in Infosys we have each. For each of that we have 20 days of the curriculum. Okay, so we'll not be able to cover in 1 hour any of that particular topic. But yes, Power Platform is the one which you will be exploring. So what exactly is Power Platform and where to use what? Okay, even inside the Power Platform also we have multiple different services. So where to use what, that is what I'm going to talk about. Okay, so inside Power Platform you have certain extra services. So I'm sharing another slide. Is it visible, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So these are the 4 different services that comes under the Power Platform. Okay, many of you might have heard about Power BI, which is nothing but a business analytics tool. Okay, so this is one service. Then next one, guys, application development. You are using Java, you are using Python, you are using C, C++, or whatever other different languages. I'm not going to use any specific language. Okay, so still, without writing a single line of code, I'll be able to create a beautiful app. Okay, so how to do that? Through the Power Apps. That is what these days people are calling as LCNC, and it is for your citizen developers. So you might have already heard about this particular term, citizen developer. Okay, so I'm not talking about normal developers. Okay, so guys, what happens these days, our clients also will be able to develop. Okay, so that is what is the target. So clients, CEOs, your marketing people, so how they will be able to develop certain prototypes, okay, through these LCNC. I'm using the term LCNC, low code, no code. Okay, so I'll not be using any code, but I'll be able to create certain prototype which I can display for my clients. Okay, so that is where your Power Apps comes into picture, where I'll be able to develop my applications. The next one is, these days, right, so many applications you might have had every day, new things are getting automated, right? So how to do process automation? Okay, so I am not interested in doing any mundane task every day, right? So for example, uploading certain invoices, okay, into my database. That is a mundane task, right? So I have to scan it, I have to write down all the different fields that are there inside my that particular invoice, right? From to address, from address, who is the client, what are the different items that he had procured. Okay, so all of that, I'm not interested in doing that. So that is where your process automation will be coming into picture. So I'll be able to use Power Automate. The term here under the Power Platform is used as Power Automate. I'll be able to do that or use that for doing my process automation. Then third thing, whenever you are opening, let's say, Microsoft site, okay, or even Infosys site, okay, Infosys.com or Microsoft.com, something is coming up in the right hand side, or even you might have, all of you might have used your Flipkart, okay, Flipkart app, or maybe Amazon app, right? So whenever you are going to your help page of that particular application, right, something is popping up saying that how I can help you. Okay, that is not a human related stuff, right? So that is a automated machine related stuff, and we are calling it as chatbots, right? So if you want to create your own chatbot, you don't have to write a single line of code, but you will be able to use PVA or Power Virtual Agent for creating your chatbots. This is again coming under your software as a service. Okay, these are the software as a service I am talking about. Then guys, so many different stuffs you will be able to automate, but what about AI, artificial intelligence? Can I use my artificial intelligence to recognize certain let's say text in my given whatever I'll be scanning, okay, my scanned document, okay, or if I'll be having a PDF or an image file, so how to recognize an image, okay, or how to recognize a specific text or a table, right? So how all these things are possible, that is what we'll see through the AI builder. So what I'll try to do is I'll be trying to automate certain process. Friends, just for the sake of time, I have already created one AI builder for you, right? So that will be helping me to recognize my different portions of what do you say, invoices. Okay, you might have already seen invoices while you are procuring something online, right? You'll be having from address, to address, your client name, your client ID. Okay, what are the different items you would have procured, right? Then what is the total amount, what is the line item, so all those things. So what is the tax item? Okay, so all those things I want to recognize from my invoice. Okay, so that will be that way what I'll do is I'll be able to create one application, okay, with your Power Apps, through Power Apps, and I'll be trying to use my AI builder, which will be helping me to automate that particular entry into my database, or I'll be capturing just different entities from that particular application, and it will be helping me to capture all those details. Okay, fine. So let me show you first the details. Okay, this is what is office.com. I already showed you. Then I'll go here into the Power Apps. Okay, let me move back. From my Office application, I'll just click here for the Power Apps. This is what is a Power Apps item. Okay, then this page will be opening. I'm going to create a blank app. Okay, so I'll create a blank app. Let's say I'll be providing today's date as the application name, and these are the two different options what I can create, whether I am targeting tablet applications or phone applications. Okay, so I'm creating tablet app. So it will be creating one new blank app. What I'll do is I'll be using that app as per my requirement. Just like it is mentioned as canvas, that means it will be a blank canvas. Whatever extra I want, I'll be able to do that. Okay, so because this is a new app, so what I'll do is I'll be providing a background. Let's say this is what is my background, right? And I'll be providing a header, let's say. Okay, or if you're not liking this background, it's up to you. Then you can go ahead and change it. Okay, from here. Okay, let me provide a light background. Okay, then here what I'll do is, okay, let me keep it as blank. Okay, and I'll go here and add one, let's say, label, and I'll put it here, name it as my first application. Okay, see, I'm not writing a single line of code, right? But you will be able to modify everything. Just have a look here, guys. My font size is increased. I want to, 1 second, I want to make it as bold. That is also possible. Just Control B, just like you are doing it in your Word, PowerPoint, or whatever, right? Then I'll make it as center, and my background color, I'll make it as this, and foreground color to something this color. Okay, so done. My first application, the design part is ready. Now it's your choice if you want to provide a different background for this particular app. It's up to you. Now what I'll do, like I said, I'll be creating my own model, which will be helping me in identifying certain invoices. So for that, what I have done already, I have created one model. I have trained that model to identify different sections or the areas of my invoice. Okay, so let me share one invoice with you. Just have a look. 1 second. Let it be opened. Is it visible? My invoice that I shared? Yes?
Yes, sir. Visible, sir. Visible.
Okay. So this is what is the from address. This is what is your to address. This is what is the date. This is what is your due date. and balance due. Okay, along with that, are you able to see these are the different items, right? I mean line items. Okay, how many quantities of each of that I have procured, then amount for each of the items, how much it is, right? If I'll go down, there is a subtotal, there is a tax, there is a shipping charge extra, then total. Okay, so these are the different entities inside that particular invoice. Okay, so what I have done is I have already trained my model to identify these areas. Okay, so that is what the capability of this software as a service what Microsoft provides. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just go here, and are you able to see there is a AI builder? I don't have to write anything, guys, no code at all. Okay, so because it's a PDF document and I'm going to process that PDF document to find or extract different information present inside that, let me add that form processor. Okay, so immediately after the form processor, this is a premium component, that is fine. And it will be charged also. I have got a 1 month license free. Are you able to see? This is the, okay, let me show you from where I have got this. I already showed you, no? These are the 4 different building blocks, right? Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agent. So these are the 4 building blocks of your Office 365. Okay. Now, if you go here, this is what is the extra thing that has been added into all these different applications. Okay. So see here in the left hand side, I talked about the Power Apps. If you'll notice on the URL itself, it is make.powerapps.com. That means this is what is your Power Apps page. Okay. Dataverse is for your data related stuff. Okay. So I can create tables, I can create columns, I can add data, all of that. Then flows means Power Automate. Okay, initially before Power Automate name came into picture, they have named it as Flow, MS Flow, Microsoft Flow. Okay, that is why still the name is present. Then chatbots, I was talking about this PVA, Power Virtual Agents, right? So that is what is your chatbot. Then comes your AI builder, right? So I have already created my model. Okay, or you can see here also what are the different models that are present. There are certain inbuilt models, there are certain models what you have to create. Okay, so let me show you certain inbuilt models like your text extraction. Okay, or you can okay, these are the 4 different categories, and this is the all section. Okay, so I'll go to the document. See here, you can extract text from your OCR, from the PDF documents. You can extract information from your invoices. There is some predefined model as well, right? You can extract from your receipts. You can extract from your identity documents. Then this is what is a custom model that I have created. Okay, so extract custom information from the documents. Not only that, if you go to text, you have a sentiment analysis. Already certain model is already created. Okay, this is predefined model. Wherever custom is mentioned, no, those are the custom model I need to create. Otherwise, rest all are system defined model. Okay, so this model will be helping you in classifying your different categories. This model will be helping you in identifying the sentiment. Okay, so depending upon the text that will be inputting, it will be identifying whether that is a positive sentiment, negative sentiment, or neutral sentiment, etc. Okay, then you can extract also key phrases or key elements from your text, right? So that is another entity extraction, right? As the model, the name of that model is entity extraction. So like that, you have so many different models for your text, as well as you have certain custom model to predict also historical data. Sorry, predict future outcomes from your historical data. Okay, then you have also image processing, like your extract all the text in photos and PDF documents, then detect custom objects. Okay, these 2 are custom models. So what I have done is I have created one custom model from this. Okay, extract custom information from the document. So how to do that? That is what I'll show you. I already created the document, uploaded certain documents to train my model, identified the various areas like this, whatever is the sample showing, no, like from to your name of the customer, what are the items he had procured. This is a table, so table structure also I have extracted. So all of that I have already extracted from. Okay, so now how to use that model, that is what I'm going to show you. Okay, so I have now aligned my model to be used for this form processor. Okay, this is what is my form processor. Now let me upload. Okay, so let me preview the app. Okay, so I'll upload my or analyze my document that I want to upload. Okay, so 1 second, let me go to the path and upload one. I mean, whatever PDF document I showed you, no, Contoso 6, that is what I have uploaded. Are you able to see? The same document is uploaded. Just hold on, it will take some time to analyze. Are you able to notice? It has identified different areas, right? Okay. And if I'll be uploading maybe few other documents, just have a look. Another document I have uploaded. This is another invoice. Okay. See here, it is showing you that this is 99% match. I believe, 1 second, let me zoom it so that it will be visible. Are you able to notice? This is from, okay, this is the invoice number, this is the item. Okay, so all of these are different elements, okay, in that particular document. Okay, so depending upon the whatever I have trained my model, accordingly it is identifying, right? So similarly, you could have done for, from, to, all these line items, whatever are there, then subtotal, tax, then total. So all of these you will be able to identify depending upon your model's capability. Okay. Similarly, I have already created this model as well as another model. I'll show you. I'll add. This is one way. I have added form processor. Now I'll be able to read my business card. Okay. So I have already created one model. I'll show you that as well. Just 1 second. This is what is my business card reader. Okay. So this model will be helping you to scan your business cards. Okay. So I'm scanning one of the business cards. 1 second. Let me see what it is. Okay. Let's try to understand. This is an image. Okay. I'll share it separately as well. Just 1 second. Okay, let it process. In the meantime, I'll be sharing that. Okay, so friends, have a look here. There are so many different images present here, right? But it will be identifying this particular business card only. Okay, so that way it has been trained. My model is trained this way so that it will only be identifying this particular business card. Okay, nothing else. Okay, so let us see how efficient is my model. I have uploaded this particular image into my business card reader. Okay, so let us see whether it is able to extract all the information or not. So how to do that? Friends, I'll be adding certain text boxes, okay, which will be helping me to display certain content. 1 second. Multiple text boxes I'll add depending upon the information that I want to extract. Okay, let's say 6 different text boxes. And what are the details? Here it is company name, name of the person, right? This may be designation, right? And this is email ID, phone number, and this is the address. So these are the details that I'm going to extract here. Okay, so how to do that? Yes, there is a model name. If you see in the right hand side, right? 1 second. Okay, this is the business card reader. and the model that I am using is automatically linked to my business card reader. Here I showed you, no, under the AI builder, here you have something, you see here, extract information from business cards, and that is what is already incorporated into business card reader. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go to that power apps, right, and I'll select all these, because these text input related stuff I do not want. So only one time I have selected everything and deleted. Then I'll select all these to increase a little bit font size to, let's say, 18. So done. Now here I want to display something from the business card reader. Okay, so guys, I said LC, NC, low code and no code. Till now, whatever I showed you was without having any code. Okay, now what I'm going to do, a little bit of code I'm going to write. So what I want to display in this particular text box, right? So I want to display business card reader dot, have a look here, guys, dot, it is showing you everything, right? So first one is your company name. See here, company name. So it is displaying, it is fetching and displaying. Then business card reader dot, let's say full name. You could have seen the first name, last name, etc. Okay, just have a look. First name, full name, right? Full address. So I want to display here full name, right? Then, okay, let me copy it because every time I need to paste. Then third one, I'll be going here dot, let's say your these are the details. Okay, business phone I want to display. Then fourth dot email ID, right? Then 5, let's say I want to extract company name I have already extracted. Job title. And the last one is your address, full address, let's say. Okay, so have a look here, friends. It could rightly identify. Have a look on the image first, right? It had name as Helena Wilcox. Name I have displayed here. Fabricam Inc. is the company name, right? Then account director is nothing but a job title. It is here, right? Then this one is your h.wilcox, right? This one is your email ID. This one is your business phone, 123 something 550148, right? So that is what is your business phone. So it could extract everything from there. Getting it? So far everyone is clear, right? So this is what is the capability, guys. Very minimal coding is required if you are using this type of models, and that is why you call it as LCNC, low code, no code. Is it clear so far, everyone? Yes. Okay.
Sir, sir, if
Yes,
it
please.
is, sir, if it is only one document, is it okay? But if it is multiple documents, then how to do, sir?
Multiple documents in the sense?
Suppose multiple, means in a document, suppose 4 or 5 pages documents, I want to scan it continuously, information. So this is just one document you shown, right? What is
Yes,
its image
yes.
from that?
This is correct, correct. So this particular, I mean, model, what we are using right now, it is only for your this type of requirement. Okay, business card reader. So if you want to, just like I showed you invoices, right? How to extract the detailed information from the invoices. So you need to create that model again. Okay, so I showed you, right? So for example, if you want to utilize, you see here, use it in a flow or use it in a something else. So if you'll see or notice, it had rightly identified different areas of this particular document. Okay, whether it is a 1-page document or 2-page document, depending upon your requirement, accordingly you can upload that.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So for your requirement, you have to use different models. So one of the model I am just showing you.
Okay, sir. Fine, sir.
Okay, okay.
Okay, sir.
Any other queries? Okay, fine. So I'm going back to that print. Okay, so we talked about the integration between these two. Okay, because we had pulled the information from my AI builder and displayed it in one of the application that is created in Power Apps. Similarly, if I'll be having certain requirement to let's say whenever I'll be getting one row added, okay, into my database, right? So I should be getting one email in my inbox, right? So that is where your Power Automate will be coming into picture. Or if you want to create one chat bot, okay, so how to do that? That is also possible by using Power Virtual Agent. So Power Automate, okay, I'm skipping this part because it will be taking more time. Maybe Power Virtual Agent I'll be showing you quickly. Okay, so same way like we created our AI builder, just below, sorry, above your AI builder, you have chatbots. Okay, so you have a create option, you have list option. So let me see if I have already created, we can utilize that. I'll show you also the different sections. Okay, so yes, I already have one chatbot. So let's understand. Friends, while you are talking to one of the executive, I mean customer executive, okay, so how they respond to you? They'll be first greeting you, right? Good morning or good evening or good afternoon, right? So or hi, hello, whatever you are mentioning. So those are the greeting related messages. Okay, so if you are greeting, then they also need to greet you back, or if they are greeting, you need to greet them back, right? So that is one thing. That is the starting of the conversation. Or we started our conversation. How? If it is an interactive conversation, you ask me some question, I'll be answering. Then I'll be asking you, are you happy with my answer? Right? So those are the ways how we'll be interacting, isn't it? So similarly, how to start a conversation? So you should be having certain topic, isn't it? So today's topic, we said in the beginning itself that this is what is our today's topic: practical aspects of cloud computing. Okay, so everything that I'm showing you is still platform as sorry, your software as a service. Okay, so that is what I'm taking into consideration, and I'm explaining so many different services that are coming under the software as a service. Okay, so when we started that conversation, right? So I am saying that this is what is my practical aspects of cloud computing. We have different models, and one of the model I have started explaining, isn't it? So same way, while you will be asking for the session bot or any bot that you are creating, you have to have some trigger point. Okay, so you will be starting like how is the weather today? Okay, but the keyword here is weather. So your recipient or the customer executive has to identify that word, isn't it? So that is what I'm mentioning as trigger. Okay, so I'll go to my session trigger or session bot, whatever I have created. And it will be opening that chatbot for me. Okay, let me sign in. Okay, multiple times it is asking. Okay, 1 second. Let me go here and paste it and see. Ideally, it should not ask so many times. Some issue then. Okay, so it is having some topics. I was talking about these triggers, right? So it is showing you so many different things, right? So here in the right hand side, are you able to see different topics? When I click on Power Platform, have a look how I have designed it. I have not written a single line of code. Rather, I have utilized the UI because it is meant for your citizen developers. So we are expecting that nobody will be knowing, or the end users will not be knowing anything how to write it. Okay. So what we have done is we have designed like this. Okay. So there are certain trigger phrases. Like I'll be saying that I want to know about Dataverse or AI Builder or PBA or Power Automate or Power Apps or whatever I'll be writing all these keywords. Okay, so as a developer, my recommend is, or maybe citizen developer, my recommend is, or my concern is, what are the different keywords? Okay, so I have put my keywords here. So whenever I'll be writing, see here, LCNC, it will be showing me or suggesting me certain things. Okay, have a look here. Hello, welcome to Power Platform World. Are you interested in any of the topics? Power Apps, Power Automate, PBA, and Power BI. So how it had gone here? Let me show you that. Friends, this is what is the flowchart kind of stuff. Okay, so it had rightly identified that LCNC is mentioned here as a trigger phrase, right? So then it had shown you the message, okay, what I have already created. So hello, welcome to Power Platform World, right? Just below that, I am asking, are you interested in any of the below topics? Okay, then it is saying, showing these 4 different topics. So if I'm choosing, let's say Power Apps, what will happen? See here, this is what is your Power Apps or Power Automate. So any of that you will be choosing. So what will happen? Here you have the further details. If it is Power Apps or Power Automate or maybe PBA or Power BI, then what will happen? See here, Power Apps each, I have just written a single line, okay? Or Power Automate is to do your RPA jobs. This is PBA. PBA is to do the chatbots, okay? Or Power BI is for your analytics tool. So let me choose the PBA. See what happens. When I chose that PBA, automatically it had rightly identified that this is the text, okay? And it had gone to that message to do the chatbots, right? So this message is shown to me, right? Then it is again asking, see, all the messages are turning into a single point and it is showing you, hope I could answer your query. See here, hope I could answer your query. Then it is again asking, is there any other query? With yes or no. If there is no, what I have done is the end of the conversation and it will be showing you certain, what do you say, feedback. Okay, so let me answer it as no. See here, it is ending here. Okay, you can see there is a tick mark. If I'll say yes, see how it ends. It ends with a rating, right? Now again, I am starting, let's say PVA. Okay, someone typed again PVA. It again went or started with this one, this option. Hello, welcome to this, to do the chatbots. This is what I wanted, etc., etc. Is there any other query? Yes. So these are the different options. Are you interested? Because I put it in a loops. So if it goes to yes, have a look here. If it goes to yes, then this is what is looped again back to this place here, right? This is where is the connection. So again, it is asking, are you interested in any of the topics below, right? So let's say Power Automate. Okay, again, it went to Power Automate. Okay, and it displayed you certain things. Power Automate is to do your RPA job. Here it is, right? See here, this is what is the text or the message that I wanted to display. Then if you go down a little bit, hope I could answer your query. This is what is your query answered. And is there any other query? Again, yes or no. If I'll say yes, then again it will be going to that loop and it will be showing you that particular text. Okay, so like that it goes on as a loop. and this is what is your test bot. See, I am in the Power Virtual Agent portal through which I am able to test it. But is there any other way how I can test it? Or if I want to give this URL to everyone else, okay, to all of you, how I'll be or how you will be testing it. Okay. So let me go to your publishing part. Okay, so this, whatever the name of the bot. Okay, so demo bot I had given. So this bot has to be published first. Okay, I clicked on that. That is why it has refreshed. 1 second. Okay, so this is what I need to perform. So unless I publish, nobody else will be able to use this particular bot. So for that, I go to that test bot and here I'll be publishing. So publish latest content, yes. Let me click OK to publish it. So once it is published, it will be published into a sample website. Friends, you can deploy it or publish it to Facebook, Skype, Teams, or to a sample website. Okay, so anywhere. Okay, so I'm just deploying it to sample website so that quickly everyone can test it. Okay, so you can see here your latest content has been published. Okay, and you can see our bot here in this particular demo website page. Okay, let me show you how it looks like. Then you will be able to use also that URL. Okay, so this is what is the demo URL. And in the right hand side, your demo bot is present, right? Now, if I'm writing in the left hand side, it is suggesting, right? So these are the ways how you will be typing. Okay, so if you are putting hello, it will also be putting I am a virtual agent and how I can help you today. Okay, then you go ahead and type your queries. Okay, see here, it is suggesting to do the chatbots. Hope I could answer, right? PVA is for doing the chatbots. Yes, I have another query. Then again, it is going on into a loop. Power apps, so certain things. Okay, it will be showing. Did I answer? No, I don't want to go further. If I'm clicking yes, then it is finishing. So let me share this URL with all of you, and you can also test. Because I have not written a single line of code. Okay, but you have deployed your chatbot into a demo site here. Sounds interesting? Yes, any queries? You can check once the URL that I pinged in the chat window. I believe it is accessible. I am not restricted to any persons. So it should be accessible to everyone. Okay, perfect. Any queries, sirs? So essentially, we had discussed so far our different models, model types, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and we saw also certain services explicitly on Azure platform. Then we have deep dived into software as a service. Under that, we had seen Office 365 as the application, and Dynamics 365 anyway. There are so many different variety of apps, and 1 hour is insufficient to cover everything. So we concentrate only Office 365 part. Okay, so where I could or I tried to show you something which is integrated with Power Apps and AI Builder, right? And we had also seen Power Virtual Agents. Yes, thank you, sir, for confirming. It's working. For I can see in the chat window, at least 3 people have confirmed that it's working. So I believe it will be working for everyone. This is a sample demo site that we have created, and you could see how your chatbot is working. Yes, thank you all for confirming. Yes, any queries, friends? Now the floor is open for queries. Please ask your queries if you have any.